Call the Leader.
And first to respond to Senator O'Brien, who raised the issue of adult mental health services in the publication this week of the Annual Inspector's Report from 2013. And in fact, I raised this myself on Tuesday on the order of business. Senator Gilroy has also raised it, and I know spoke on it again today. And we all did ask for a debate, and I would absolutely support your call, Senator, for a debate on this. I can't accept the amendment to have Minister Lynch in today, but I will certainly speak with the Leader about arranging a debate in early course. And I must say, I think it's quite a good idea to ask, in general, to ask ministers to tell us and update us on 5 things they've done in their portfolio. And I just think that's actually quite a nice way of framing a debate for any minister halfway through or more than halfway through the term of government. And I would say this, though, and I would really take issue with some of the words used by Senator O'Brien. He used words like incompetence in respect of Minister Lynch. And I think that's most unfair. I think Minister Lynch has been one of the most reactive and proactive ministers. She has secured ring fencing for funding for mental health services. And let's not forget this, that what she's implementing is a policy that is across party support, in fact, a previous government policy and Vision for Change, which is a policy of closure of the big residential facilities. It is a policy to move to smaller facilities. The report, as I have said this week, does expose inconsistencies in standards, and certainly it is cause for concern, and I think it would be good to have a debate on it. But I think this is part of an overall policy that everyone has signed up to, stakeholders in the mental health services and all parties. So we certainly agree to look for that debate, but can't accept the amendment to ask the Minister to come in today. Senator Conlon welcoming the package agreed at Cabinet on Tuesday for survivors of Magdalene institutions, and I would agree with him that it's very welcome to see that overdue series of measures being approved at Cabinet. I'm delighted it's been approved. I know many people in this House have been looking for that over the last year or more, and of course former Senator Magdalene was very instrumental in ensuring that a package of measures would be put together once his report was on the conclusion of his report. Senator Conlon also wishing the Taoiseach and the Irish delegation to the EU summit in Ypres, I think, thank you, Senator Conlon, to mark 100 years since the start of World War I. So it's very important that Ireland is represented there, and that we mark these important centenaries. But it's also, of course, a summit that's of importance looking forward to decide on the future agenda for the EU and to decide on the President of the EU Commission. So certainly we all wish them well on that. Senator Quinn raising the serious issue of waiting lists for kidney transplants, and also raising, I think, a very interesting point about a policy in Sweden and Finland for tax credits for home helps, which, as Senator Quinn points out, has wiped out the black economy there in that issue, and indeed has created up to 90,000 part-time jobs. I think it's an excellent idea, particularly for a private members' debate, perhaps, in this House, Senator, because it seems like the sort of innovative policy we could look at implementing here in Ireland. Senator Kelly on the issue of medical cards and the non-user-friendly procedures before the PRCS, and raising a particular case of a student with no income. I think that particular case might well be the subject of a matter on the adjournment, but certainly I'm happy to ask the Leader to arrange for the Minister for Health to come in to deal with the broader issues. We will have the Minister for Health in with us next week on a number of health-related bills, so there may be an opportunity to raise some of these issues then with him. Senator Daly paying tribute to Gerry Conlon, and again I spoke on this, as did many colleagues, on Tuesday in this House, just expressing sympathy to the family of the late Gerry Conlon and paying tribute to Gerry Conlon. I had the privilege of meeting him many years ago, and I'm a huge admirer of his work on miscarriages of justice. And I would absolutely agree with the words used by Senator Daly about Gerry Conlon. In terms of Senator Daly's other comments about relating really to the past and to British government treatment of Irish citizens and so forth, I think it would be good to have a debate in this House on the progress with the peace process, because of course the issue of how we deal with the past in terms of the conflict in Northern Ireland has been a huge issue for the Richard Haas negotiations. It's a big issue, I know, before the Good Friday Agreement Committee, and I think it would be good to have the debate in this House on the issue of particularly of how we deal with the past, how we look at injustices from the past. Senator Daly also raised an issue about a letter from the Minister of the Environment. I think that might be a suitable matter for a matter on the adjournment. Senator Comiskey welcoming the opening today by Minister Coveney of an $80 million cheese manufacturing facility for the Irish Dairyboard in Wisconsin, and I'd like to join with Senator Comiskey in welcoming this, because this is a hugely important facility. It's a $12 million R&D facility which completes the final phase of the $80 million expansion programme. The facility is part of an Irish Dairyboard business business manufacturing cheese and other value-added cheese-based ingredients. But really the point of this initiative is that through it, the Irish Dairyboard will help to build a reputation for the Irish dairy sector in the US, which is a new and growing market for us, and particularly when we see dairy production in Ireland on the cusp of dramatic expansion following the abolition of quotas. So I think we all very much welcome that development and hope that it will lead to further expansion of the sector in Ireland. Senator Barrett, on the very serious issue of the of energy bills. I saw the reports today that 20% of households are in difficulty with their energy bills. Senator Barrett has called for debate on the Green Paper on energy, and I think that would be a good debate to have in this House. And I'll ask the leader to make progress on that. Senator Barrett also raised the issue of the reported increase in house prices in the Dublin area, a particularly stark increase in the last 12 months of 22%. And clearly, this has positive and negative aspects to it. But clearly, it's a very serious problem, not just for first-time buyers, but I know myself from representations I've received from people who are seeking to move from perhaps their first purchase of a small apartment to now maybe have one or two or more children, and really are living in very cramped and unsuitable conditions, but simply can't get the necessary mortgage to move up to the next stage, and clearly that's causing a difficulty with a real lack of availability and affordability of family homes in the Dublin area. So I know it's a very specific problem, but I do think it would be good to have a debate, as you say, Senator, on housing policy more generally, and to look at how we can what sort of measures we can put forward to assist first-time buyers, and indeed not just first-time buyers, but people who are looking to move up and to buy houses more generally in the market. Senator Gilroy on mental health services, and of course he's raised this on many occasions, and calling again for debate on mental health services, and I know the leader has agreed to that already, Senator, so as you say, September is not that far off, and I think that would be appropriate timing to have that debate. Senator Conlon welcoming the investment in the announcement by Bausch and Lomb that they are going to invest in an upgrade of their Waterford facility, and we all very much support and welcome that announcement. It's very good to see, and I think we'll all join in commending the workers whose sacrifice has effectively secured the future of the plant there, and I think we all very much welcome the fact that the investment by Bausch and Lomb is going to be supported by IDA capital grants, and the Vice President of Manufacturing of Bausch and Lomb was in Ireland and has been meeting with unions and management. And I also note Senator Cullinan's point that there's been very good cross-party work from public representatives from the area, including the leader, Senator Cummins. That's very good to hear. Senator Cullinan also called for a debate on regional development, given particular high levels of unemployment in the South East, which has been a real issue for many years, and we can certainly have that debate on the implementation of reports on the topic. Senator Conway again on mental health services, and calling for the Seanad Public Consultation Committee to take up the issue of mental health services in our next consultation process. I think it's a very good idea. I think we should put it, Senator, before the PCC, the Public Consultation Committee. We've had some really good consultation exercises on issues like cancer prevention, the rights of older people, and the implementation of international human rights standards. And this would be a very appropriate topic to have a consultation with different stakeholders on. So I think we might try and pursue that in the next session of the Seanad in September. And also, I think we would all join with you, Senator Conway, in wishing baby Gavin from Greystones the very best with his life-saving cancer treatment in Texas, and again to commend the fundraising efforts of all the many people who have helped to send him there. Senator O'Keefe raising the launch of the Leitrim Recreation Strategy on Monday, and calling for a debate on rights of way, which, as she says, is very closely linked to walking rights and tourism more generally. And I think it would be a useful debate to have. I know there's been a private member's bill put forward by Deputy Robert Dowds in the Dáil on walking rights, but as you say, Senator, the issue of rights of way and the obstacles for those who wish to walk and engage in walking holidays in Ireland, this really needs to be resolved. So I'll ask the leader to arrange that. And finally, Senator Mullins supporting Senator Conway on calling for the PCC to deal with the topic of mental health, and also welcoming the legislation on sunbeds. And I think we all very much welcome that. Some very positive publicity around it, and some very nice photographs of young people wearing Deb's outfits who are highlighting and publicising the new law. So the new law is the Public Health Sunbeds Act 2014. It's due to take effect before the end of July, so very much welcome that, and it will ban the use of sunbeds by persons under 18 years of age. It will make it an offence to sell or hire a sunbed to anyone under 18, and it will ensure sunbed operators make clear to all users the dangers of sunbed use. So it's a very major public health initiative and a robust tool to prevent the dangerous effects of ultraviolet radiation, in particular to protect children. So I think that's a very positive piece of legislation, and I'm really glad to see it being highlighted in this House and indeed in the media. Thank you.